जय हे तेलंगाना जननी जय केतनं मुकोटि गंतु जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे जनगण मन
A very good morning to you all. A small request for all the participants. We request you to kindly leave the first two rows for the dignitaries to be seated. We request all the participants to occupy from the third row. Thank you. All the participants who are in the lobby or in the foyer, you're requested to please come and occupy your seats inside the auditorium. We shall now begin with our first performance. A sincere request to all the participants who are in the lobby, you're requested to please be seated in the auditorium.
తలనొప్పి
నాన్న మార్కెట్కి పోదామా
స్మైల్ కన్నా
All the participants are requested to kindly be seated in your places. We shall now begin the program. A sincere request to all the participants and delegates. You're requested to please be seated inside the auditorium. We shall now begin the program. A very good morning to one and all. It's a matter of great honor to welcome you all to this International Women's Conference, Give to Gain, Women Power for Sustainability, being organized by Usmania University. This is a conference where ideas meet purpose and dialogue leads to transformation. Today, we gather to reflect on the role of women as architects of a sustainable and equitable future. As a rhythmic prelude to the conference, we present to you a wonderful performance by Yashoda Thackeray ma'am. We are privileged to present Srimati Yashoda Thackeray, a distinguished Kuchipudi and Devadasi Nrityam artist, trained under eminent gurus and deeply rooted in the Kalavantula tradition. Her performance now is going to reflect both excellence and authenticity in classical dance. Before I welcome ma'am onto the dais, let me give you a brief profile of her. Yashoda ma'am is an acclaimed and accomplished Kuchipudi and Devadasi Nrityam artist. She began training under some of the foremost proponents of Kuchipudi, Padma Shri Shobha Naidu Garu, and later Vempati Chinna Satyam Garu for 14 years, before she sought to expand her horizons. An artist with an unending thirst for learning and quest to explore the deeper potentialities of her dance, she trained under Mrs. Swapna Sundari for a while. Later, she decided to go to the Kalavantula families to reach out to them and learn their art. Her passion for her art, not being relegated to practice alone, she pursued a master's in dance followed by a doctoral degree in yoga and dance. Further, Yashoda ji, in association with renowned art critic Dr. Venugopal Rao Garu, has translated the 13th century Sanskrit treatise on dance, Nritya Ratnavali, into English, which was published in 2013 to critical acclaim. She has also authored the book Kaivalya, Joy in Yoga and Dance, which was published in 2014. Her critical edition of Nritya Ratnavali has been approved for publication by IGNCA Government of India. Consummately balancing the practice of the art of dance with research, Yashoda has emerged as an artist widely regarded for innovative classicism. Not only she has enthralled world audiences with her flawless artistry, she has also toured and conducted lectures sharing her comprehensive learning. While many stages in our country hosted Yashoda ji, she has been showered with praise for her performances in the Nehru Center, London, the Indian High Commission, Dubai, the Sanskrit Theatre Symposium, Dhaka, the International Kuchipudi Dance Convention, California, and many other. On invitation, she has also conducted workshops on yoga and dance in St. Petersburg, Russia in 2012 and 13. For her continued devotion and putting her heart and soul into dance, she was conferred the Ugadi Puraskar 2017 by the government of Andhra, along with many other accolades like Bengaluru Nagaratnamma Award, A-grade artist at the national level conferred by Doordarshan, empaneled artist ICCR, Nataraja Ramakrishna Gold Medal for Excellence in Performing Arts at University of Hyderabad, and many other as feathers in her cap. Ma'am, it's a great privilege and honor for all of us to have you with us today. The days is yours. We are all waiting to witness an artistic excellence now by Srimati Yashoda ji. Please put your hands together to extend a grand welcome to Srimati Yashoda Thackeray Garu.
Thank you, Jyoti. Jyoti kada? Yes. Thank you very much for inviting me over. Vijilata ma'am, particularly thank you for thinking of me. It is an honor to be here. And I just realized that I'm expected to do a full performance, but that's not what I'm actually going to do for you, because I'm here to talk a little bit about the Devadasi to you. And I would like to talk about this from a very personal note, so that there is this angle of the self that comes in while we talk about this. I must tell you that I come from the families of the Devadasis, who are called Kalavantulu in the coastal Andhra area, in the two Telugu-speaking areas. They were called Bhogamvaru or Sanivaru. And since this is a women's celebration day, that's how I like to look at it. And we, as dancers, particularly believe that there is no dichotomy between the man and the woman, and we do come together. So it is about which power do we elevate and which power comes active at what time, and that's what is important. Having said that, yes, women do need this kind of strength to talk about themselves. So I talk to you more as a woman from the Devadasi families who has become part of the mainstream society, being the 6th generation after the last singer dancer, and I have sought to claim my lineage. Why? Why did I have to do this? After this fact was hidden from me, because we don't talk about it in the families. In the families, it's a matter of shame, because the Devadasis have been equated to sex workers at a time when sex workers were considered of something of disrepute. So it was complete shame. It still is shame to talk about our family background. Now, in our country, whether we know our background or not, the society knows what caste you come from. So the society knew, and I had this kind of a very I was dancing though. When I was 3, my father said, I declared that I want to be a dancer. So I started dancing Kuchipudi, the classical dance of Andhra Pradesh. And the fact that I have sought to dance was a big shock for our families, because our families, particularly the women, encouraged by the men or driven by the men, moved away from music and dance because of the stigma that was wrought about on them. So after 6 generations, when here is a girl who said, I want to be dancing again, they were shocked. But then they took it. I must give it to my parents that they said, okay, then you dance the classical dance of Andhra Pradesh, Kuchipudi, and there were rules. The dance cannot be taught by a single man in private spaces. It has to be an institution, and the teacher has to be a woman. So I started learning in Kuchipudi Art Academy from my guru, Srimati Shobha Naidu. And later, I realized that I come from the families of the Devadasis. And how do I realize this? Through snide comments which say, oh, you're very beautiful, women in your families are very beautiful. Oh, you're very devoted, women in your families are very devout. I was 17. So I thought they were real compliments. So I went back to my mother and I told her, Mama, Amma, Niku, you have a compliment, because they said I'm beautiful because you are beautiful. And then she understood. She sat me down and she told me, it's time for you to know that we come from families called Devadasi families. And they were dancers. So I knew about the Devadasi a little bit because I was dancing, right? So somewhere you can't talk of any dance without talking about her. And to talk about her on this occasion, I feel is very, very apt. Because then she said, they were dancers, they were in the temple, they were in the court, and then we don't know what happened. We are all equated to prostitutes, our families. So we don't talk about our families. I was 17 and full of energy and lots of cheekiness. So I was very happy that I was dancing, and I was born in a family of dancers. Who gets to do what you're born in? So I said, we have to claim this. We have to talk about it. But then to claim it, nobody was dancing. The families are not dancing. The families have rejected it. So it took me 20 long years after that to go back, 15 years, to go back to the women in the villages and learn from them. I have to tell you, as a dancer and as a yoga practitioner, how important the body is for all of us. At this point, the importance of the body. Because when I go back to my teachers, my family members in the villages, I go to Mummidivaram, I go to Tatipaka, all the little places in coastal Andhra, and I come from a place called Peddapuram, which also has been stigmatized very badly. When I go to them, the dancing bodies claim, they say, oh, we are from the Kalavanthulu families. Mem bhogam vallamandi, mem natyam chestam. So mem bhogam vallanandi, mem vyabicharam chestam an kaadu. They are not saying mem bhogam vallam we are available is not what they are saying. They are saying mem bhogam vallam mem natyam chestam. So the identity is music and dance. Identity being music and dance was giving them strength and power. So when I see them and I see my educated families, which are all very well placed in society, which do not want to talk about the family background, I realize how much power the music and dance is giving these women. And so that had to be stripped from them. The music and dance had to be taken away so that they lose their power in society. Why? Because these women were unmarried, and because these women were the breadwinners of the family. The men were not the breadwinners, but the men supported them. So it was a real family where man and woman came together, you know. We don't think of it anymore. So we think of it from a very patriarchal side that we live in today, where we think man is the head of the family. He is the head of the family, and the woman is the brain of the family. Can we think of it like that? That's what happened there, where the woman danced, and the dance, the body gave her power. So I think I can go on and on, because she's a woman. The Devadasi is a woman who occupied every space. I have to also tell you this. The temple had only 2 employees there earlier. That was the Devadasi and the priest. And the temple was patronized by the king. So if anybody is telling you that it's the king, the temple first and then the court, no. The king constructs the temple. And so we have these women who danced for the king, sure, but they danced for the King of Kings, God also. So the same procedure, export quality went to the temple, and the others were at the court. Why was the woman so important in the court, in the temple and the court? This, women, you should know. The female body, as a yoga practitioner, so I have to validate why I can talk about this, so I keep saying this. The energies that the female body attracts from the universe is something that comes very easily, and the female body is conducive to attracting and retaining in the body, so that the female body can dissipate into society again. I'll wait. So in the temple, during the ritual, the priest chants, the Devadasi dances. Very little, but her presence is, her female body is important to attract these energies, give them to the deity so that the deity takes care of the village. So the Devadasi is not in the temple to ask for favors from God. She is there to protect the God so that the God, the deity, God or goddess, the deity takes care of the village. So that's how important the woman, with the support of the man, the male and female energies come together for the protection of the village. Standing in Usmania University, I also have to talk, I'm taking a quantum jump. I'm taking a jump to the Zamindari period and the Nizam period now. There was something called the Mezuvani. Some of you would have heard of it, but in very bad sense. But basically, the term Mezuvani comes from the Urdu Persian term called mez. Mez being the dining table where food is offered, bhogam, food is offered. So this pleasure, the same Mezuvani is used for the performance of the very accomplished, learned woman called the Devadasi, who was under the patronage of the Zamindar and was a very proud possession of that Zamindari. So people would come to watch the Abhinaya of particular Devadasis. And that was Mezuvani, where they presented the dance to them. Mez being a Persian word, by then we were influenced by the Mughal rule and our very own Qutub Shahis and the Nizams in Hyderabad. So particularly in Hyderabad, I have to do something which says salam. I will do a salam darbu for you, just a portion of it, where the lady is dancing for the king/god. The name is the same of the god and the king. And she equates the king to God, Narasimha, in the first stanza. And in the second stanza, she describes his physical attributes and says, "You're so beautiful." Another thing that was a big problem about the Devadasi was that God was not something unreachable. God was made human and God was romanced with. So they didn't have to marry God. They were committed to God. The marriage to God that we hear about is more of a contract with the temple and a commitment with the temple. So she is here who praises him first and then says, "Oh, you're so beautiful. You're so handsome." And then the third stanza, which I may not perform today, is where she says, "Why are you staying away from me? Come to me." So I will start with a salam, where the script has a Mughal-influenced Maratha king being praised here. So we had the Marathas who were already influenced by the Mughals, who came down south to Tanjavur, got educated in the British style, British education. Victorian morality, by the way, is a whole discussion which we will do for the next piece. And she says, "Salam." So I do this for the August audience now, and then I will follow up with a piece of Abhinaya for you. I'm in a very casual attire, unlike that, because this is an academic space. I thought I will only do a demonstration for you. Sarvani will help me with the music. That's just a welcome to you. I'll finish with just one more song where I will do the Padam, where she says, Rayabara Mampinada. So he has sent a message through you. First of all, he cheated me, and he cheated so many others. He's here, she says, he's right beside me. He keeps smiling at me. He's attending on me. But there is something that tells me that he's not with me. Do we know this? So she says, he's there, but his quality about him is that he's always wandering. Rayabara Mampinada, Ranu Ranu, ne Rano Enumi. She says, tell him I'm not coming. And then she says, in a reverie, she talks to Muva Gopala himself. So Muva Gopala can be Mr. Gopal Rao, it can be Krishna also. It can be anybody. So she says, this body has rejected you now. It has had enough, and my body says no. I keep coming back to the concept of the body because our bodies are the wealth of knowledge for all of us. If we can spend that much time to listen to what the body is saying, train the body to be sensitive to what the universe is telling you through your body, I think we'll make a lot of progress. I wind up this talk with this Padam. I'm happy to be here. I'm really privileged to be here. Thank you very much. It's a good idea not to have the the frills on the screen so that you see what I am doing. I don't know where to tell. Yes, Sherwan.
రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నేరానోయను మీ 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 మాయవాది మామువ గోపాలు మాట నమ్మరారెన్నటికైనా మాయవాది మామువ గోపాలు మాట నమ్మరారెన్నటికైనా మాయవాది మామువ గోపాలు మాట నమ్మరారెన్నటికైనా రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నేరానోయను మీ చిత్తమొకరి మీద నుండు చిరునవ్వు నవ్వుచుండు చిత్తమొకరి మీద నుండు చిరునవ్వు నవ్వుచుండు భక్తి కలిగినట్టేయుండు భావము అలాగేయుండు భక్తి కలిగినట్టేయుండు భావము అలాగేయుండు చిత్తమొకరి మీద నుండు చిరునవ్వు నవ్వుచుండు భక్తి కలిగినట్టేయుండు భావము అలాగేయుండు రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నేరానోయను మీ గడియకొకరితో సరసము గడుసురాలైతే చాలా ఘనము గడియకొకరితో సరసము గడుసురాలైతే చాలా ఘనము నడక చూచితే వేరే విధము నడక చూచితే వేరే విధము నాలికపై నుండు అమృతము నడక చూచితే వేరే విధము నాలికపై నుండు అమృతము రాయవారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నిరాయనోమి తొలుత కూడిన కూటమే చాలు వలపులుంచని దారేయి మేలు తొలుత కూడిన కూటమే చాలు వలపులుంచని దారేయి మేలు చలపాది మామో గోపాల చాలు చాలు నిదే 10,000 చలపాది మామో గోపాల చాలు చాలు నిదే 10,000 రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నిరానోయను మీ రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నిరానోయను మీ రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నిరానోయను మీ రాయబారమంపినాడ రాను రాను నిరానోయను మీ
Let us all extend a heartful appreciation to Srimati Yashoda Garu for that mesmerizing and soulful, and I must say a very unique performance. When we said a classical dance performance, we were waiting to see someone adorned in a heavy attire, but ma'am, your grace is beyond boundaries. Her grace, depth and dedication to preserving our rich cultural heritage truly inspired us, ma'am. Thank you so much. Before we have the formal inaugural session for the conference, we have a small promo for Give to Gain conference that was made by students of all the departments from Osmania University. May I request the technical team to please play the promo. program today. May I request Professor V. Balakishna Reddy sir, Chairman Telangana Council of Higher Education, to please come on to the dais. An eminent scholar, sir continues to play a significant role in shaping higher education and legal scholarship in India. Thank you. If it's a tradition to play Vande Mataram across the country, it's also a tradition in Telangana to listen to the Telangana song every time to fill in us that same inspiration and the freedom struggle. So may I request the technical team to please continue playing the Telangana song?
జయ హే తెలంగాణ జననీ జయ కేతనం ముక్కోటి గొంతుకలు ఒక్కటైన చేతనం తరతరాల చరిత గల తల్లి నీరాజనం పద పదాన నీ పిల్లలు ప్రణమిల్లిన శుభతరుణం జయ తెలంగాణ జయ జయ తెలంగాణ జయ తెలంగాణ జయ జయ తెలంగాణ. జీవన చావళీలు చాలువాన కవి గాయక వైతాళిక కళల మంజీరాలు జాతిని జాగృత పరచే గీతాల జనజాతర అనునిత్యము నీ గానం అమ్మ నీవే మా ప్రాణం జయ తెలంగాణ జయ జయ తెలంగాణ జయ తెలంగాణ జయ జయ తెలంగాణ.
that is the pride of Telangana, reflecting the heritage and spirit of the state. May I now request the convener of the conference, Senior Professor Vijayalata Ma'am, Principal, University College of Science, Osmania University, to deliver the welcome address.
Dignitaries on the dais, Captain Meera Dave, Chief Guest of the inaugural, and we have guest of honors Dr. Manjula Anagani Garu and Dr. Raghuram, both Padma Shri awardees, and we have our Chairman Telangana Higher Education and our Honorable Vice Chancellor, and faculty members, deans, principals, head of the departments, students, and staff members. Good morning to you all. It is indeed an immense pleasure and I'm deeply honored, and I have a sense of purpose that I welcome you to this inaugural session of this International Women Conference, Give to Gain, Women Power for Sustainability. We are organizing this conference for 3 days at the Tagore Auditorium, and this is the theme of the conference is Give to Gain, and this captures the transformative essence of women leadership marching towards a new era of systematic change and visionary progress. It suggests a paradigm shift where the act of giving, sharing knowledge, fostering community, and monitoring and mentoring others becomes a primary engine for gaining collective progress and environment resilience. Women have no longer been now are the backbone of sustainability and with practice, often balancing sources, managements, and social equity. By highlighting women power, this conference underscores that when women are empowered to lead, their innate focus on long-term sustainability and inclusive growth creates a lead. Their ripples effects access to education, leadership, and economic resources. The Give to Gain dynamic operations as a multiplier effect accelerates development, reduces poverty, and fosters innovation. In this conference, we have, in the first day, we have deliberations where eminent personalities are going to talk to you regarding women empowerment, medical, holistic growth, all together. In the second day, we have 5 themes where we have STEAM, art, Indian knowledge system, advocacy and social consensus, and nurturing holistic growth, workplace safety, legal rights, and navigating global crisis, and promoting sports and physical literacy for women, women architecting policy, innovation, enterprises, academic spaces. Not only that, in this conference, we have, in this 109th year of Usmania University, we are heading towards 109th illustrious journey. This is the first time we are conducting the Women Conference. I would like to thank our Vice Chancellor for encouraging us to conduct this conference. And this intellectual principles, what we have as leaders and innovation towards society, the gain is not merely a personal, but we are collectively advancing towards innovation of the society, where we try to do a lot of experiment as women. We do a lot of experiment and we try to get good results out of it. So the organizers have worked tirelessly to put together this program that motivates beyond tradition boundaries. I am confident that the research papers, panel discussions, and networking sessions over these 3 days will spark the innovation needs for scientific and technology progress, social transformation, and community resilience. And I'm happy to say that we have got 50 full papers, 25 posters, and 120 oral presentations for this conference. And I express my heartfelt gratitude to our organizers, where they have come up with a souvenir, e-souvenir, that will be released now by our honorable guests on the stage. So I also extend my congratulations to the editorial team for bringing out this souvenir, which stands as a record of our shared commitment of women power. I wish all the delegates a stimulating and fruitful endeavors in the conference. Thank you.
Thank you for that warm welcome, ma'am. As there is a hymn in Rigveda which says, "Let noble thoughts come to us from all directions." So this gathering is a testament that we are going to gather knowledge from across the country and talk about women empowerment in this conference. Thank you, ma'am. May I now request our guest of honor, Dr. B. Raghuram Garu, to please address the gathering.
Dignitaries on the dais, faculty, students, and distinguished delegates. Namaskaram. It's a profound honor to be here, invited by the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar Mogularam Garu, and Professor Vijulata Garu, to this inaugural ceremony of this wonderful conference being held for the very first time, I'm told, in this great institute, which is university, which is steeped in history. And as our Vice Chancellor was saying, that this university has 360,000 students spread across 720 affiliated colleges. A big round of applause to all of you. So as the conference theme very powerfully reflects the fundamental truth, when women are empowered, the impact goes far beyond. It touches the families, the community, and the nation. And as India moves towards Viksit Bharat 2047, a visionary campaign that is being spearheaded by our dynamic Prime Minister, all of you here, youngsters who are students, are not just students, but future leaders and catalysts for change. As a doctor myself, I can't help but dwell into an important aspect of health. We are all familiar with the term, Arogyame Mahabhagyam. Health is wealth. But all of you sitting here with hand on your heart, how many of you can tell that your health is your real wealth? I don't think many of you would do that, because in our culture, women neglect their health and always strive to keep the well-being of their family as the uppermost priority. You must be aware that a woman is the nerve center for the family. If she is well, the family will be well. If you are not well, the family will collapse. And this is a fundamental fact which we tend to ignore. We must take charge of our health and those around us. As a surgeon dealing with patients presenting with breast cancer day in and day out, it is very sad to see that more than 60% present in the advanced stages because of lack of awareness, ignorance, a taboo issue, even amongst the educated, even in urban India. This has to change. This fundamental fact that 60% present in the advanced stages in a country where we pride ourselves as not being a developing country, but moving towards a developed country, and Viksit Bharat, all of you have a responsibility to take care of your health and those around you. And that, to me, from the health point of view, is the true meaning of gift to gain. And in closing, I'd just like to end by just sharing with you a couple of thoughts that come to my mind. Many youngsters here in this audience you all will become achievers. But the true measure of success is not how talented you are, how gifted you are, how rich you are, how powerful you are. The true measure of success is how many people you have been able to positively impact on a daily basis, and how gently you have walked on this planet. We mustn't forget that we are just a speck of dust in this universe. So we must live consciously, truthfully, and with integrity and compassion. And finally, as all of you youngsters grow older, some of you will have the opportunity to go abroad, train abroad, live abroad. Great, that's wonderful, because you will know another part of the world. But never forget your mother and your father. Because of them, you are here. Never forget your roots. Never forget where you were born. Never forget your mother tongue. And above all, never forget your motherland. I can say with hand on my heart, having lived in the UK for 10 years, I had a very successful life there. No reason to come back. But God showed me the path that I'm not meant to be there. And through my mother's illness, He showed me that I'm meant to be in my motherland and not elsewhere. And the satisfaction of having served my motherland for close to 2 decades cannot be compared with anything else in life. So, Sare Jahan se acha Hindustan hamara, and I wish you a very healthy, happy, productive, and enriched life. Thanks very much for the opportunity, and namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for emphasizing on the importance of women's health. And you have very nicely inspired us to make a gentle yet profound impact. So let us all take this as an opportunity to once again applaud sir for the wonderful contributions he's making in the healthcare sector in India to his motherland. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Manjula Anagani ma'am to please address the gathering. And empowered women, you must put your hands together to welcome Manjula ma'am for the great impact she is making in the society as a gynecologist.
Thank you, Jyoti. It is indeed an honor and privilege to be present in the Osmania University. And this has been a childhood dream for all the students who are born and brought up in Hyderabad. Thank you to Professor Vijayalata Garu and Kumar Garu for having us. Me being a hardcore Hyderabadi, education was synonymous for Hyderabad with University of Osmania. So I'm very proud to say that I did from Gandhi Medical College and Osmania Medical College, which comes under Osmania University. So thank you for having us here, saying that you had heard wonderful things told by Dr. Raghuram about the health of it, but I just have to say a few things to the women out there. You all know that you can do it. Always you subdue yourself because you are not vocal. So I think being vocal is the first thing. And second thing is we all have to balance between the family, career, and definitely all of us dream. But family, career, and health, these are the 3 triangles. I always believe that whatever we want to do, there's a triangle to make it closed so that it becomes, we are in the center of it. So when we talk about it, if our passion and profession are the same, there's nothing we cannot achieve. And there are 2 things we have to remember. We have to be ourselves. We don't have to ape, or we don't have to go into FOMO of doing something. We don't have to be westernized to do what we are, because we do know when we compare between North Indian, when we talk in healthcare also, I'm sure Dr. Raghuram also will say, when it comes to North Indian and South Indian, we always say South Indians are more academically oriented. That is something which people say that. But why are we not being projected is because we are not vocal. That's what it is. Because we put our family first, and we are more softer. There is a story which I heard which said that you go to South India, you stamp on that person's leg, they will say sorry. We don't have to say sorry. This is something which people talk about it. But we are happy to be something like that because we have our culture which has been inculcated into us. So I believe that we have to be ourselves and believe in ourselves, and also that never say no to the opportunity which comes and then come up with a solution later. And finally, I want to say, being a gynecologist, in this today's time, we know that 1 in 4 is cancer-ridden. This is the fact, which is what is come out in the WHO. that 1 in 4, 25% is the incidence. Why is it? It is man-made. We have made our pollution affect with the stress and the addictions and the diet we eat is what has made what we are. So as a gynecologist, I want to say one thing. We all talk about plastics, yes. We talk about microplastics, yes. We are only talking about plastics on the beach and everything. But remember, we are more in a more dangerous situation because we are keeping plastics over the private organs. That is, we have sanitary napkins which have plastics, which is the reason why endometriosis has increased, PCOD has increased, fibroids has increased, and endometrial cancers and ovarian cancers have increased. So today is the time, all of you vote to yourself. You want to keep your health under your control, so use menstrual cups or organic sanitary napkins or period panties, and no pop, no plastics over privates. Thank you, and thank you for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As you rightly said, women have to be more open. I think conferences like this give us an opportunity to be more open and discuss. And I think, as ma'am said, let us all take a pledge that we are all responsible for our own health. Let us take care of ourselves. Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Professor V. Balakrishna Reddy, sir, Chairman, Telangana Council of Higher Education, to please address the gathering.
Good morning to one and all. Respected chief guest, other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, faculty members, and my dear students. I know, I agree with Dr. Raghuram sir. They are not only future, but they are going to decide the destiny of not only India but world, because India being the youngest country in the world, youth nation of the world. So you are going to be the future. That's why we want to address you also. Coming to the today's discussion, women empowerment. Of course, Usmania University also had more than 100 years of history. Similar thing with women empowerment. If you look at, started way back in 1908. First, that was a struggle. The women empowerment started with struggle to recognize. Today we are celebrations. Transformation from struggle to recognize to celebration. That is 100 years plus history. If you look at, started from New York City in 1908 to many things. Today, two important themes when we talk about the women empowerment. Part of that, so next 3 days, I know, just now I heard a lot of important themes you are going to discuss. But in 2-3 minutes, I'll try to give the background, one, human rights. Of course, when I say human rights, women rights is part of the human rights movement. So we have a global international treaties, whether it is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948 or International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights 1966, International Covenant on Economic, Social, Cultural Rights 1966, and many more. This is a holistic human rights movement. Part of that, women is recognized. But coming to the specific, there is a convention on elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. 1979 is the important international instrument which today developed a lot of jurisprudence. So this is 189 countries, including India, is a party to that. So today, all over the world, women rights are celebrated because of the instrument which was part of the United Nations. So this is, and then of course we have one important declaration that's called Beijing Declaration of 2012. This 25. This declaration basically laid down 12 categories of women empowerment. What kind of rights women has to have, whether employment to, against sexual harassment to domestic violence to many. These two instruments are basic, and today all countries are, implementing through their domestic laws. This is what we call, when it comes women rights, part of the general human rights and also specific women rights. Other important themes, sustainability. If you look at environment is also one of the important challenge. If you ask me, one of the greatest challenge in the 21st century we as humanity is going to face or facing is the protection, preservation, and conservation of human environment. That is where the concept of sustainability comes. Of course, today the great debates are going on, across the globe, whether it's environment is important or development. If you look at the instruments like, Stockholm Declaration, it was focusing on human environment. Then, Rio Declaration, which focus on environment and development, and Johannesburg Declaration, sustainable development, because the concept you are going to discuss is sustainability. So whether, environment is important or development. So maintaining the balance between both, of course, we have sustainable development. What do you mean by that? That means meeting the needs of present generation without compromising ability of future generation. That is where we have to make the balance between both environment and development. Some of the topics are there. I think you are going to discuss in elaboration. But common to all, whether it's international instruments, CEDA Convention or other Beijing Declaration, but how India is implementing that. Where to start the discussion on, women empowerment, women rights, of course. So rights generally, we say, I'm a law professor, so ignorance of law is no excuse. Whether any profession, you are a doctor or engineer or technocrat, but what is the commonality among all of us is, we have to know about the law. Our ignorance of law is no excuse. Similarly, if you look at other extension is, ignorance of constitution is also no excuse, because it's a fundamental law of the land. All laws originates from the constitution. That's why we as a citizens, whatever the background, again I don't want to repeat, whatever the background, we have to know about the constitution. So that is the other important thing. So when we are talking about women empowerment, women rights, once we know the rights, then we can, try to implement that. That's why I think ignorance of law, ignorance of constitution, ignorance of human rights or any rights are not excusable. This is one important thing I want to tell you. Yes, today women empowerment definitely, constitution, just now I said constitution, gives a lot of guarantees to every citizen. Women is no exception to that. To name Article 14, Article 15, Article 16, Article 39, many articles which give the empowerment to women. So that is being a, custodian of the women rights or women rights. So this is one important thing I want to tell you, the constitution. Of course, we have also specific legislations to deal with women rights, whether it's domestic violence against women and, workplace harassment, sexual harassment workplace. Many domestic legislations also part of that. That's what we as a citizens should know. Women also should know their rights and responsibilities. This is very important. Yes, when it comes to women empowerment, I don't want to take, but how women sacrifice, whether it's a family, whether it's a country or anything. I want to share my own experience. My wife, she's a doctorate from IICT Usmania, postdoc from New York University. She was a scientist. But when it comes to family obligations, I'm happy to share friends who to recognize. She was a scientist, had a good job, multinational company. But my one son, so we were having a discussion, who make the sacrifice for my son. So she came forward and she sacrificed. That is where, sir, the issues comes from our own thing. So though she sacrificed, no regrets, today my son is. So what I mean to say that today women sacrifices every level, family to society to a level. That is the women sacrifice for society. I want to, of course, today women empowerment definitely is going to be the crucial for next 20 years or 21 years, if I say so, because India is in transforming. Transition to transform India into a developing to developed country, a third world country to third largest economy, importer to economy. All these things, 20 years, 50% of our population is consisting of women. Unless we don't involve women empowerment, women rights, I think we are not going to achieve the dream of achieving, Vikasit Bharat. That's why I think all of us, we have to give so that, once you give to gain, if you empower women, the society definitely gains. With this, I think, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, sir. As a prolific law professional, your speech on legal facts, women rights, and sustainability has really inspired us. Thank you so much, sir. May I request all the participants who are standing at the back, there are few chairs in the front. We request you to please come and occupy. It happens very rarely that we have somebody from Indian Army coming and talking to civilians. What a beauty it is to have a woman of the highest cadre from Indian Army to come here as the chief guest of today's function. I don't want to invite her with just one line, but I would want to read out her entire profile so that I will also proudly say that I introduced a dynamic woman to many other dynamic women sitting in the audience. Let me read out the brief profile of Captain Meera Siddharth Dave. She's an Indian Army officer and a leadership professional engaged in national discourse on governance, national security, youth development, and women's leadership. Her career reflects a unique blend of military service, academic engagement, public thought leadership, and social commitment. During her service in the Indian Army, Captain Meera served in challenging and hostile operational environments, including deployments along the Rajasthan-Pakistan border, for which she was awarded the Special Service Medal Suraksha and the Sainya Seva Medal Marusthal. She also served in the highly sensitive and terrorism-affected region of Baramulla and Jammu and Kashmir, where her work under Operation Sadbhavana focused on empowerment and livelihood promotion for militancy-affected communities, earned her the prestigious GOC Gold Medallion Award. Her contributions to youth development and women's leadership have been widely recognized. She has been specially felicitated by the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Sri Bhupendra Patel, for her impactful work with young citizens and women across the state. Captain Meera has also been honored by the Chief of the Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, with the Operation Sindhur Medal. She is the recipient of Bhaskar Women of the Year Award 2012. She serves as the brand ambassador of 4 Gujarat NCC Girls Battalion, actively mentoring young cadets and students. A graduate of IIM Ahmedabad, she combines military leadership with academic inquiry. There's so many medals, so many awards, so many gallantry awards and wonderful situations where she has shown her bravery. Ma'am, we are very eagerly waiting to listen from you. Please put your hands together to welcome the chief guest of today's program, Captain Meera, to address all of us.
Thank you so much, Jyoti Garu, for this amazing introduction. Om Badram Karnebi Shrunyam Devaha Badram Pashyemakshabhir Chatraha Sthirei Range Shushtuvam Sahastanubihi Vyashema Deva Hitam Yada Yuhu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. गर्व करना मैना तेलंगाना नेलकू प्रजालकू ना नमस्कारम. Respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Kumar, Dr. B. Raghuram Garu, Dr. Manjula Garu, Professor V. Balakista Reddy Garu, Professor Vijulata Garu, Professor Hamida Garu, my dear friend and an amazing person, Sujalata Garu, my Patidev, my Gurudev, Shri Siddharth Daveji, and an amazing, dynamic, intellectual audience of Osmania University, Namaskaram. Indeed, it's both honor and a deeply emotional moment for me as an army officer standing here today in front of this august audience of one of Bharat's most historic institution, Osmania University. Indeed, Osmania University is not merely an institution. It is a cradle of Vichar, Vimarsh, and Rashtra Bhakti. Osmania University has given Bharat amazing, proud leaders, administrators, thinkers, Rashtra Bhakt, individuals who have always kept the flag of Bharat flying high globally. So today, indeed, it's a matter of pride and responsibility to talk about Give to Gain, Women for Sustainability theme in front of this august and intellectual audience. Give to gain. So let me just start with a simple question. What do you mean to give? Is it charity? Is it sacrifice? Or is it something much more deeper? So when we give a Bharatiya thought about giving, it is never a loss. Giving is always an investment. An investment to what? An investment to Bharat. So as I said, if it is an investment, there must be something in return, a gain in return for sure. So what does the gain mean here for us? So gain is not merely in terms of economic returns, but Sanskriti, stability, strength for the nation, our Bharat. So today, when we speak about women for sustainability, what is sustainability? Sustainability comes through structural changes. And when we talk about structural changes, the general thing which comes in our mind is what? Work on policy, law, administration. But let me say this very clearly to all of you. No structural reform to sustainability can succeed without sanskar sinchan. So today you will find me using some of Hindi and Sanskrit words for the loss of its better understanding and the meaning of it in English language, because it is best explained and beautifully understood in the language it is written. So please, I'm sure you would bear with me on this matter as well. So sanskar sinchan. What do you mean by sanskar sinchan? It is nurturing of values, discipline, duty, and most importantly, character, upon which the entire foundation of the sustainability is built. As an army officer, I say this very clearly, and I'm sure you will be surprised when I say these two sentences. Weapons do not win war. Technology do not win wars. It is the character of the male and female officers, the soldiers, which actually win the wars. It's the character of the soldiers and officers behind the weapon and the technology which wins the war. And this character, it is not built in a crisis situation. It is built day in, day out, 24/7, 365 days a year, every year, with duty and discipline, with the character they build slowly and gradually when they wear the uniform. So, when I was told about this year's International Women's Day's theme, Give to Gain, and today's theme, Give to Gain, I saw it with a profound Bharatiya thought. And what is it? That when a mother gives values to her child, she gains a responsible citizen. When a teacher gives knowledge and integrity to the students, society gains an enlightened leadership. And most importantly, when we are talking about women for sustainability, when women gives strength to the families and communities, the nation gains resilience, and that is give to gain for Bharat. So beautifully weaved, this Bharatiya thought. So what does this teach us? That give to gain is not transactional, but it is transformational. So when we talk about power for sustainability, again, when you look from the Bharatiya perspective, it's a collective effort. And in Bharat, the collective effort is never imposed. It is organic. And why do I say so? Because when you see, from the joint family system to the community festivals, from the village governance to spiritual traditions, we have always believed in shared responsibility. And here I would like to bring a thought that has guided generations in Bharat, and that is Param Vaibhavam Netume Tat Swarashtram. That is a civilizational mission, and it speaks of taking our Bharat, our Rashtra, to Param Vaibhav. What is Param Vaibhav? Is it GDP or military strength or global recognition? Yes, all of three, of course, but partially. Because Param Vaibhav means a nation that is strong, self-confident, culturally rooted, and most importantly, morally anchored. That is the beauty of taking our Rashtra to Param Vaibhav. So that is a national pride. And I'm sure today when we started our inaugural function, we all had that national pride when we all stood up erect and recited Vande Mataram. But let me tell you, I had goosebumps when I heard the Telangana song. Oh my God. I still have goosebumps when I'm saying this. I'm sad that I really don't know the language, but I think that is the beauty of having the national pride, that language is no barrier at all, because when you have that sense of pride within you for your nation, for your state, for your civilization and culture, language takes a back seat and pride and goosebumps takes the first seat. And that was the emotion I felt today. And I told Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, that it was amazing. Thank you so much for making us a part of it. That's the national pride. So nation, when I speak about Param Vaibhav, what I'm trying to tell you here is that we as a nation are here where development is not divorced from dharma. And dharma here is responsibility, the duty towards your nation. Where the progress does not come at the cost of identity. And when would this happen? It is not merely through government action, but as I said, when we talk in the Bharatiya concept, it is a collective force, and here the collective force which I am talking about is the Nagarik Kartavya, the responsibility of citizen towards the nation, towards Bharat. So what I mean by Nagarik Kartavya, that is when the citizen of Bharat, that is all of us, are disciplined. That is when we follow the public rules and regulation, the traffic rules, when we become responsible towards our nation. I've always seen a sense of emotion and pride in each and every citizen when they see an army, air force and navy uniform. With a feeling in their heart, I wish I could wear that uniform. I know because we all are Bharati at the core of our heart. And what better to reckon our country with than the uniform of an armed forces? But it is difficult for each and every one of us to wear that uniform for sure. But as an army officer, I always say this, that each one of us, each and every citizen of Bharat can become the first soldier of Bharat when each citizen becomes vigilant towards the security of Bharat. And when I say this, I would just want to quote an example about Kargil War. We all know in 1999, Bharat took up the victory in Operation Vijay, Kargil Vijay Divas, which we celebrate on every 26th of July. There was one such responsible and vigilant citizen, Tashi Namyal, who was vigilant enough to know and understand that there were few people moving up in those hills of Kargil, and he felt that these people are not someone local of my area. He felt suspicious. He had his eyes and ears open because he felt it is my responsibility as a citizen to guard my nation. Immediately he informed the nearest post of the armed forces, and that was the changing part during the battle of Kargil, because those people turned out to be terrorists who were trying to infiltrate our borders. That one vigilant citizen became the soldier of Bharat immediately that moment, even without wearing the uniform. And that is what I want all of you to do each and every day. Be vigilant towards Bharat, our Bharat. And when 140 करोड़ की जनता भारत की सैनिक बन जाएगी तो किसी की हिम्मत नहीं होगी भारत के सामने आंख उठा के देखने की, and that will be the strength of Bharat. So that is Nagarik Kartavya, friends, which I wanted to talk about. And I would want to thank you all at this note that each one of us, every citizen, showed that pride and belief in the armed forces during Operation Sindoor. So thank you very much for that, each and every one of you. So coming on to the women on sustainability, women power for sustainability. When I read about this theme, Give to Gain and Women Power for Sustainability, the first name which came in my mind, I mean, there are many. We are proud to have a golden history of Bharat with so many historical figures in our history who have given their everything towards the nation. But one name which came immediately in my mind was Ahilya Devi Holkar. An amazing queen, an administrator, a ruler, a thinker. Queen of Malwa. When I say Queen of Malwa, let me share this with all of you. She was never thrown, given the responsibility as a queen as such. She has always been the in charge of Malwa. She never took on the responsibility of queen herself. But even while having the responsibility of having the in charge of Malwa, though her jurisdiction was limited to Malwa, but her thought and her work were Rashtra Pratham, nation first. You could see her work even today after 300 years of her life. You can see what Ahilya Devi Holkar has done to Bharat and the citizen of Bharat. She was a ruler who ensured justice, built infrastructure, revived sacred spaces, and strengthened society at its roots. Her governance was not loud, it was transformative. That is what we said, give to gain. It is not transactional, but transformation, because she exercised responsibility. And one example which I want to give here is about Gauchar, when I speak about Ahilya Devi Holkar and give to gain. While she was in her tour towards Badrinath in the Uttaranchal area. She found a person with the cow and sheeps, and that person was beating the cow, and she asked, "Why are you doing this to this cow?" And he said that this cow ruined my entire field, my crop. Now what am I supposed to do, and how am I supposed to feed my family? So that is why I'm beating the cow. That what am I supposed to feed my family? You know what did Ahilya Devi Holkar do? Give to gain. She immediately gave 2 gold coins to that person and said that, please take these 2 gold coins, feed your family for a good amount of time, but please don't beat the cow. She didn't know what she did. So, and then Ahilya Devi Holkar continued in her journey. And the word spread across the entire village. Oh, there is a lady out here and she is giving away gold coins. And so entire village came in front of her. And they all got their cows and sheep along, and they said, oh, they also ruined our crop, and we are also very, it is finding very difficult for us how we are going to feed our family. She being the queen, she knew exactly what is coming in front of her. She was intelligent. What she did, you know that? She took, we have supra, I don't know, when we clear the wheat and grains, so that big vessel, 2 big vessels filled with gold coins, she gave to the entire village, giving. She gave it. But you know what she gained in after that? She asked one thing from those villagers, a promise. That village from then on will be in the name of cows, and it will be called Gauchar, and it will only be used for feeding of the cows, and no further construction on that particular village against those gold coins which she gave. So the villagers were like, okay, fine. And in today's world, if we think that if someone has just taken a promise without any written confirmation, do you think it would last? But let me tell you, to your pleasant surprise, that in December 16, 2024, that village still exists in the name of Gauchar, and no construction on that area, only used for the grazing of cows, and that was Ahilya Devi Holkar in her Give to Gain. Beauty, the strength of words. That is why we say it is not transactional, it is transformational. So that is the beauty of Give to Gain and Women for Sustainability in the Bharatiya thought. And what do you think that how does all of this come? Women in Bharat are not stakeholders alone. They are nation shapers. So from home to institution, from classroom to command post, Operation Sindoor, yes, this is for the first time in the history of independent Bharat. You saw women officers in uniform serving, doing the debriefing of an operation, not only doing the debriefing, but actually commanding the post in Operation Sindoor and destroying those 11 air bases of Pakistan in the name of Indian Armed Forces. So that's the beauty of women power. So when I talk about sanskar, actually I was entering the venue and someone from behind said, oh, army officer? But I see someone with sari, bangles. And so Sujata ji gave me this beautiful gajra because she knows my love for gajra. She says that you look beautiful in one. She gave me that also. And someone like, army officer? And then suddenly the eye went on the medals and they're like, oh yes, army officer. I always say this, friends, that with the love and pride, I wear this sari, bangles and gajra. Trust me, with the same resilience, josh and pride, these hands wearing bangles have also fired AK-47 and rocket launchers. That's the beauty of sanskar, because it keeps you rooted so that you can grow high, fly like a kite in that huge sky, and like a huge banyan tree, give fruits to your society. That's the beauty of sanskar, which is rooted. And as an army officer, since you have called an army officer, I would like to end this with sharing one thing. That courage is not gendered. Leadership is, of course, not gendered. Commitment is not gendered. But values are nurtured. And women play a central role in that nurturing of values. Because when we are talking about Param Vaibhav to our Rashtra, woman, who is the center of the family, nurturing values to the family, strengthening the family. Because a strong family, in turn, gives us a strong society. And a strengthened society gives us a resilient nation. And that is Param Vaibhav for Bharat. So, I always say that when you have army officer in front of you, you have something as an homework to take along. And I would also want to take this promise as an homework from all of you. That today, let us not only keep give to gain as a theme, merely as a theme, but take it along with us as a commitment. Starting from our homes, let us make it more transformational. Make it as our duty of a citizen, to keep nation first, always and every time, in whatever work we do, as a student, as a teacher, as a doctor, as an army officer, or any which way, whatever work I do, I will always keep nation first in my mind. And dear friends, trust me, with experience I am saying so, because every day during our academy days, we as army officers, the one in training, we used to take a pledge every day. And you know what is the pledge? My country will, the honor, welfare, and respect for my country always comes first, every time. The responsibility of my soldiers comes next. My own safety, welfare comes last. And I want all of you, because I have told you that you are the first soldiers of this nation. So you need to take up this responsibility of keeping our nation first and always ensuring that our national flag, Bharatiya flag, always keeps rising higher and higher globally with the sanskars rooted and always having in your heart nation first. Thank you again, Osmania University, for inviting me. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Jai Telangana.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was really a transformational speech. If you had goosebumps moments when you heard the song, all of us in the audience will agree with me that this was our goosebumps moment to listen to you speak. Let us all give her a standing ovation for protecting all of us by staying there at the borders with a huge round of applause. Ma'am, we should bow to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful speech. I have only 2 words to say. A great speech, culturally strong, infused with moral values. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It is time for us now to listen to the presidential remarks by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar sir. Sir, may I request you to give the presidential remarks.
Today's chief guest, Captain Meera Siddhartha ji, Indian Army officer and President, Raise and Inspired Forum. It's a NGOs and Youth Forum. A distinguished guest of honor, Professor Balakrishna Reddy Garu, State Council of Higher Education, Telangana. Padma Shri Dr. Manjula అనగాని గారు, డాక్టర్ రఘురామ్ గారు, పద్మశ్రీ అవార్డీ, ప్రొఫెసర్ గడ్డం నరేష్ రెడ్డి గారు, రిజిస్ట్రార్ ఆఫ్ ది ఉస్మానియా యూనివర్సిటీ, ప్రొఫెసర్ జితేంద్ర కుమార్ నాయక్ గారు, OSD2 వైస్ ఛాన్సలర్, ప్రొఫెసర్ విద్యుత్లత గారు, ప్రిన్సిపల్, యూనివర్సిటీ కాలేజ్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్, ఉస్మానియా యూనివర్సిటీ అండ్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్ కన్వీనర్, and Professor Amida B, Organizing Secretary of this International Women's Conference, Principals of various colleges, Deans of various faculties, Heads of the departments, Chairman Board of Studies, and dear faculty members and students, the esteemed members of the print and electronic media, and future architects of this society and country. It is with immense pride and responsibility and profound sense of history that I welcome you all to the inaugural international conference at Usmania University. For 108 years, this great institution has stood as a beacon of knowledge, inclusion, and transformation. But today, we script a new chapter, a chapter that places women not at the margins of discourse, but at the center of global transformation and sustainability. Give to gain, very nicely given excellent examples by the captain, madam. Very, very excellent way. Give to gain, power of contribution. Our theme, give to gain, is enduring and transformative. Women have always been gives of life, of values, of resilience, of wisdom. Yet today, we recognize a deeper truth. When women give, the world gains. When women lead, humanity progresses. As Mahatma Gandhi observed, if you educate a man, you educate an individual. But if you educate a woman, you educate an entire family. Society will grow. In today's world, we extend that vision, educate a woman, and you build a sustainable civilization. From resistance to renaissance, the journey of women is not just progress. It is resilience against resistance. When Savitribai Phule opened the first school for girls, she faced hostility, yet she persisted. When Dr. B.R. Ambedkar framed our constitution, he ensured gender equality was not optional, but foundational. The prime example, our President of India, Draupadi Murmu ji. From then to now, women have moved from silence to voice, exclusion to leadership, limitation to possibility. An elder Roosevelt once said, a woman is like a tea bag. You never know how strong she is until she is in hot water. Reaching for the stars, icons of great determination. Some journeys go beyond the boundaries into space itself. Example, our Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian born woman in space, whose courage continues to inspire generations of scientists. Sunita Williams, a symbol of endurance and excellence, who demonstrated extraordinary grit during the extended mission aboard the International Space Station, returning in 2025 with over 62 hours of spacewalk time. She proved that determination knows no gravity. Their journeys reminds us the sky is not the limit, it is just the beginning. Telangana's pride, women who inspired generations. As we gather in the historic city of Hyderabad, let us celebrate Telangana's remarkable daughters, Sonia Mirza, who redefined India's tennis globally, PV Sindhu, Olympic medalist and symbol of discipline, Aruna Bahuguna, pioneering IPS officer, Justice Surepalli Nanda, a distinguished figure in the judiciary, Srimati L. Rani Kumudini, IAS retired, the first woman state election officer, Commissioner of Telangana, strengthening democratic governance, C.S. Ramalakshmi, administrative trailblazer. These women remind us Telangana is not just producing graduates, it is producing global leaders. The women in uniform, pride of the nation. In moments of national importance, women have stood at the forefront. Colonel Sophia Qureshi, the wing commander Vyamaka Singh, as the faces of Operation Sindoor 2025, they led high-level strategic briefing symbolizing confidence, competence, and courage. They represent a powerful shift. Women are no longer participants in national security. They are leaders shaping it. The global icons, universal inspiration across the world, women have redefined leadership. Indra Nooyi, a visionary corporate leader. Jacinda Ardern, empathy-driven governance. Malala Yousafzai, courage in adversity. Sudha Murthy, humility and service. Tessie Thomas, India's missile woman. Ritu Karidal, architect of India's space missions. Geeta Gopinath, global economic leadership at the IMF, International Monetary Fund. Falguri Nair, entrepreneur excellence. Adding to this spirit-inspiring list, Kiran Mujumdar Shah, biotech pioneer. Nirmala Sitharaman, India's first leadership on the global stage. Mary Kom, 6th time World Boxing Championship she won. Hima Das, India's spirit sensation. Avani Chaturvedi, India's first female fighter pilot. Each of them proves true power lies not in authority, but in authenticity. Education, inclusion, Telangana's vision. The Telangana continues to lead with visionary initiatives. 105 Young India Integrated Residential Schools, nurturing excellence among youth, preferably the girl students. The scholarships, welfare schemes for girl children, opening doors once closed. Policies, they are pathways to empowerment, specifically the women and girl child. The silent revolution in higher education. At Osmania University, nearly 65% of the postgraduate students are women, and faculty approximately 50% women. The first time in the history of Osmania University, the joint registrar is women. So this is not just a statistics, it is a silent revolution. And perhaps a thought-provoking question arises. Will the day come when we discuss the reservation for boys? This is not irony. It is the reality of changing India. From ridicule to respect, breaking the stereotypes. For generations, women were underestimated in boardrooms, interpreted in conversations, reduced to stereotypes and phrases like too emotional, too soft for leadership. But today, we redefine this narrative that was once seen as weakness is now recognized as strength. Because the world today needs not just intelligence, but empathy, not just strategy, but sensitivity. The emotional intelligence revolution in the age of artificial intelligence, one quality stands out, emotional intelligence, EQ. Women exemplify empathy in leadership, collaboration in conflict, resilience in adversity. As Michael Obama said, there is no limit to what we as women can accomplish. The future belongs not to those who dominate, but to those who connect, empathize, and inspire. Women in artificial intelligence, innovation, and the future. as we step into the AI-driven world, women must become AI innovators, data scientists, policy leaders, and ethical custodians. Because the technology without inclusion creates imbalance. Technology with diversity creates sustainability. The many roles, one identity. Woman as a learner, a leader, a caregiver, a creator, and often all at once. Yet she is asked to prove herself repeatedly. This conference declares women do not need any kind of validation. They deserve recognition, respect, and representation. A moment of gratitude and pride. With 1,200 delegates and 200 research contributions, this conference is not just an event. It is a historic milestone in our 108 years of journey. You have not organized a conference, you have created a legacy of Usmania University. A call to action. Let this conference be a platform for ideas, a catalyst for change, a movement for empowerment. Let every discussion lead to action. Let every insight create impact. Let every participant become a change maker. Closing reflection. I conclude with a powerful thought. The question is not who is going to let me, it is who is going to stop me. Anin Rand. As you know, the guest of honors, especially the doctors, they suggested both the doctors, right? The physical and mental health is more important. See, every time I used to say, we have to maintain all the time, the physical and mental health is very, very essential for the sustainability of these human beings. And women obviously plays a key role in all these aspects. She takes, the every burden. As Madam just now said very clearly that, ours is, the mother gives the birth and shapes a good character child, and therefore the concept of this give to gain. So she is shaping the character of the child, and that is gain to the country. So at the same time, teacher also shapes a student. So that is again the character building. So obviously again giving back. So like that, the Param Vaibham explained excellent about the Param Vaibham. And Vande Bharat and Telangana Geetam, Madam said, the goosebumps, and at the same time, the great kind of pride when we listen to, Janagana Mana, and at the same time, the Telangana Gayam also equivalent to the Janagana Mana. So all the time I, insist our faculty members that the self-imposed discipline is the ultimate one. So because of that self-imposed discipline, definitely we can achieve any kind of thing, and this will be very much useful for the nation building. As Balakrishna Reddy Garu said, the youth is our strength, therefore the potentials of the youth is very much in nation building, our economy, our progress, our every progress, and even Vikasit Bharat concept and Vikasit Bharat objective will be fulfilled with the youth. Because when the youth, with a lot of discipline, obviously we can achieve any kind of this thing. So with this, of course, many valuable points the chief guest given. I don't want to repeat all those things. Excellent, the wording she, especially the weapon and technology cannot, win the war. Only the character and man and, the human behavior is really plays a great kind of role in winning the war. So all those, each and every point, whatever Madam said as a chief guest, really a fantastic kind of, inputs to all our young and dynamic, the youth, and especially our faculty members. Madam, ours is 108 years, old and legacy university, and every month one international and national conference is going on. Our faculty members are very dynamic and our students are very bright. They come through all the set examinations conducted by our State Council of, the higher education. So all are meritorious students and all are very disciplined students, and university is really progressing in an excellent way. So thank you very much for coming over here and, giving such a wonderful and experiential points. Really thank you very much for sharing your all opinions with our all faculty members and our students. Thank you one and all. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for reminding us some of the empowered women through your speech. And in a way, you've motivated all of us to strive for excellence. Thank you so much, sir. It's now time to release the e-souvenir. May I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar sir, to please release the e-souvenir. I request the technical team to keep it ready. So that was applause first, followed by the souvenir. We thank all the dignitaries for releasing the souvenir. It is time to felicitate our guests as a token of our appreciation and gratitude for the wonderful time that they spent with us and the messages that they gave all of us. May I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Kumar sir, and Convener, Professor Vijayalata ma'am, to felicitate our dignitaries on the days. May I request you to felicitate our chief guest, Captain Meera Siddharth Dave ma'am. It's time for all of us to show the women power by clapping hard, loud, strong. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable message. I request Kumar sir and Vijayalata ma'am to please felicitate Professor V. Balakrishna Reddy sir, Chairman, Telangana Council of Higher Education. May I request you to felicitate Dr. Manjula Anagani ma'am, the guest of honor of today's event. Let us now felicitate Dr. B. Raghuram Garu, our guest of honor. I now request the convener of the conference, Vijayalata ma'am, to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Usmania University, Professor Kumar sir. Sir, thank you for your constant support and encouragement, without which a conference of this magnitude would not have been possible. Kumar sir, we now request you to felicitate the women power behind the conference, the convener of this mega conference, Professor Vijayalata ma'am. I request Professor Kumar sir to felicitate the convener of the 3-day international conference, Give to Gain, Women Power for Sustainability, the first ever women's conference being held at Usmania University. I now request Professor Hamida B ma'am to propose a formal vote of thanks.
President Rice and Inspire Forum, guests of honor, Professor V. Balakrishna Reddy sir, Honorable Chairman, Telangana Council of Higher Education, Government of Telangana, guests of honor, Dr. Raghuram sir and Dr. Manjula Anagani ma'am, Padma Shri awardees, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Usmania University, Senior Professor, Professor Kumar Mulgaram sir, President of the function, convener of the event, Senior Professor Vijayalata ma'am, distinguished dignitaries, esteemed speakers, Professor G. Naresh Reddy sir, Registrar of Usmania University, Senior Professor Jitendra Kumar Naik sir, OSD to Vice Chancellor sir, Deans, Principals, Directors, HODs, Chairpersons, Board of Studies, faculty members, women faculties, DR, AR, supporting staff, fraternities, and across different universities, colleges, research scholars, and dear students, a good day to all. On behalf of the organizers, we thank our chief guest, Captain Meera Siddhartha Dave ma'am, for your inspiring words, and also the discipline and the significance of importance of sanskar and responsibility of every citizen towards the nation. Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. We thank guests of honor, Dr. Balakrishna Reddy sir, Dr. Raghuram sir, and Dr. Manjula ma'am. Sir, in spite of your busy schedules, and ma'am, thank you for gracing the occasion and also accepting our invitation and to share your experience and valuable time at Usmania University to address our participants. We express our sincere gratitude, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for the motivation to lead the Give to Gain conference. Sir, it has been really a driving force to provide this platform. We are grateful in making this event possible. We thank the university authorities for the permission to take forward the international conference, a historical landmark in the 108 years of academic legacy. We thank the funding support from Telangana Council of Higher Education, RUSA 2.0, the support from the Greenbelt, Health Camp, media, press, EMRC, the supporting staff of the IQAC for all the support. And a special thanks to for all the invited speakers. We thank for accepting the invitation. And as the theme Give to Gain says, and as our chief guest ma'am says, it is the intellectual investment and the commitment to give, and the audience, all of us can gain knowledge. My sincere thanks to all the participants and delegates as you have traveled from different states. We have from Northeast to Orissa to South India, many of the participants. A thankfulness to all for making and coming all the way to Telangana. I would also like to extend my appreciation to the organizing committee members for the dedication and seamless coordination. As we celebrate this International Women's Conference, let us embrace the true essence of Give to Gain. And as we move after this towards the networking sessions, let's remember that every conversation is an opportunity to invest in each other. By sharing our journeys, we ensure the collective gain far exceeds our individual effort. As we move further, let's turn our networking into a masterclass of mutual growth, as we don't just share contacts, we share catalysts for a change. So today's giving of time and mentorship is the gain for a thriving future community, a dream to fulfill the Viksit Bharat 2047. Have a wonderful day ahead, and thank you once and again all the support for the Usmania University International Women's Conference, and thank you one and all to make the program successful. Thank you.
Just a minute. happy to announce that we are planning to give Women Excellence Awards to 30 women professionals who contributed to the society and their profession in various fields. This we are planning on a valuatory session, 30 women the professionals. We identified, Madam is going to finalize today. During the valedictory session, we felicitate all the, the women professionals in Telangana who are available right now, right? So this is for your information. Thank you.
As we come to the close of the inaugural session, I request all of you to arise for national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request all the dignitaries, VIPs, to please join for tea on your left side of the dais. Yes, sir, I'll announce. And all the other participants, you are requested